of Saudi. In fact, you know, the more members there are, I give this matchup to Saudi just because of the kit, but not because of the player. I think it's definitely outplay potential for both sides.
Okay, we'll have to see how Koya Migi does into the top side of the map. The older brother of the team here, maybe. Obviously, I did watch your interview. He obviously admitted to that he was the shot caller before, but no longer the shot caller here now. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they played this one, right? Obviously, all listening to Carl, I would say.
Yeah, I think it's dependent on what the style of play is, right? Because, you know, when we spoke to Mickey, he was very bent on, you know, I want to win that 1v1 matchup. And the lesson learned for them last year was the fact that, hey, you can win the 1v1 matchup, but the macro game is so important. It is a team game after all, so the better team does. I want to see if Kagendra wants to bring Migi down that route and say, you know what, you can have the 1v1s, we will take the team fights instead.
Yes, let's see what they do here. Obviously, both of the coaches now just fist bumps here, and fist bump fists. There we go. As we go into game number 1 between both of these two teams, the IKL representatives going against Boom Esports. Both of these two teams within the spring, I believe it was. Actually, no, Kagendra was in the fall champion, and then obviously Boom was the spring champion. So both were champions within their own respective leagues.
Right. We'll see this initial rotations, right? Kagendra, we know about the strength and we know about the rotations of the play and Byron gameplay, right? It's mostly focused on the clash lane and trying to secure initial advantages with the space sprite so they can get the teleportation portal and get their rotation coming in. But it looks like the gameplay is slightly different this time. Both teams looking to put trio lanings in the mid lane.
Yeah, we've seen this quite frequently, haven't we, throughout the rest of, for majority of data before, right? We've been seeing 3-men, 3v3 into the mid lane, just try and get that prio as well. As you can see here, Parasola just looking to try and get as much farm as possible onto Danny here, so he can try and get activated a little bit earlier here, but they've kind of buying time for Fayshirt to be out of the jungle.
Yeah, this is a little bit better at this at the point for Kagendra, right? You want to wrap up the farm for Facial, but boom, they play the same kind of cards as well. It's all about making sure that Danny gets a good game.
Yes, exactly. I mean, they did trade obviously those both side camps there. I believe that did actually go over to Sule. The one down bot side obviously was able to get hit by last hit by Tatsuri as well. So both of those denials actually didn't go in the favor of either of these two teams. They were actually neutralized.
Yeah, so even Stevens at this point, Facial, already working on his Azure Golem here, and I think the later this game goes, I think it's definitely in benefit to the side of Boom here.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, we can see that Pei will obviously be great early to mid game. Obviously, does fall off around about the 10-minute mark, but still has enough impact, especially with the squishy heroes like trying to get the lockdown onto Danny, onto Tatsuri as well.
At this initial start, potential first blood, but
not going to happen. The Spark Mace is just a little bit too late on that one. I feel like if he was a little bit earlier, Draw may have been taken down there as well, but now we do see that Migi is looking to rotate down to the mid lane here as well, give aid over, but no, just trying to be there for the rest of his team, right? Just trying to overturn these odds and looking to try and, like you said, trying to gain that first blood.
I mean, there's three different scenarios that we're looking for here, right? Who gets the first blood? That's the first thing. Secondly is who gets the first objective, and obviously the third one, which is the most important we've seen out of all the games today, which is who actually secures the initial goal lead for themselves. As a team now, Kagendra has like a 300 gold advantage, but that accounts for not much at this point.
Not at all, exactly. Like 300 gold is pretty much. It drops out your pocket, you don't even realize that you've lost 300 gold, you know what I mean? It's there as more of a, maybe like a motion capture, you know? Like, it's just like, hey, they're clearly farming a little bit faster, they have a little bit more of that, so just a very small gold lead. It's not like, hey, they've kind of like stole away objectives, they're doing more than what they need to be, they've been getting those kind of neutral objectives. So neither of these two teams, they're still obviously in it to winning in terms of the gold.
Yeah, I don't see the super big difference in terms of goal between the lanes itself. The only sizable one is actually in the jungle, which is going into the hands of Fei Shi. But as a pay, I think this is definitely what you expect out of it. So with the patience by both teams here at the 3.5 minute mark, it then places a lot of emphasis as we head to that first Tyrant, this first neutral objective. What is the choice of both of these teams here?
I mean, they're both more than likely want to go for the Tyrant, right? But you can already see that Gentra's already putting a little bit more motion into the ocean of the fact they're trying to get the pressure down to the bot side, right? So if they can alleviate that pressure for the likes of Zan, they can then obviously take Zan into the neutral objective camp and obviously just be able to put a lot more pressure in there. But we are seeing a bit of a TP down to the bot side now for Carl. And we do see the draws already in there. The knockup comes through. Ooh! Just gets caught by Gentra.
Yeah, just a little bit too late. Literally half a second too late for Carl. He was not in range to use his ultimate right as he dropped it. Simply because, you know, it was already taken before he could get his Heart of Jade seal off. Now, this is going to be great for the side of Gendra. They currently have a 1,000 gold lead, force out the flash of draw as well. And this is going to be a sizable advantage across the map. But here comes the support from Tatsuri.
Tatsuri using that emergence to just obviously come down to the bot side of the map here as well. Obviously give aid to Danny as well as Draw. Obviously, there's no real kind of like big lead here for either of these farm lanes, right? They're both sat around about the 2.9k here, so nobody's kind of like outshining the other. It's just about maybe just getting that position off, right? Like if either Zan or Danny overstep, then they'll get punished.
I think not just them, right? It's literally whoever Phase 2 lands his hands on, because he does have a sizable lead against the rest of the cast members. 3.6k for the hands of Carl, not the biggest deficit, but with a 4,500 gold accumulated for this pay, he should be able to get some big punches in.
Oh, absolutely. Big punches, able to kind of get the itemization up as well. Obviously, he has the Rapturous Bite, so level 3 jungle items already been built here as well. Going for the cooldown reduction boots as well. Obviously, you get a bit of magic resistance on those bad boys too, to try and sort of counter the damage that comes from the likes of Tatsuri here as well. But they're looking to just constantly keep putting this pressure on down to the bottom lane, right? Because obviously, if you put the pressure on the Danny, he's not going to have free reign to kind of get to that early game power spike.
Yes, I think at this point, both teams have really studied each other well, right? Nobody's overstepping their boundaries just yet, but here we go. Carl catches eyes in the mid lane as they put more pressure on this T1 on the bottom. And the defense is holding strong for the side of Boom, but at the same time, top side, there is a split push from the side of Saudi.
The macro is definitely coming into play here for the side of Kagendra, but Boom do get that T1 down to the bot side, so contrary belief, we thought that Kagendra was going to get that first T1 down there.
Alright, I mean, it's a decent trade, right? So T1 for T1. So Kagendra know that they have a lead. And this is what I like about the new Kagendra. They stay patient. They don't overstep their boundaries trying to extend this lead at the cost, at the risk of giving away a bad team fight.
I mean, you can't afford to, right? Like, whoever drops first blood here, it means that they've got kind of like potential of that T1 into the bot side or even the mid. Dropping here, but it's going to be 4-5 men up the side of Boom committed just to get that T1 into the top side. And Zan's just like, okay, I'll have a free game, I'll have a free minion wave come through as that T1 falls now.
Yep, and here comes the team fight.
Oh, okay, that was a nice catch on there, thanks to Lou. He was able to catch on, but the first blood actually comes through there, serving up to Carl, but it's also going to be Danny that falls as well as Draw, and now Tatsuri falls in the mix, leaving only Miji alive.
And there we go, this is what we're talking about. 4 kills for the price of 1, and that 1 is a roam. On the case of Lou here, Miggy will not be able to defend against that, and he might have to give his life.
Ooh, oh my goodness. That is a team wipe there for the side of Kagendra as they open up top side, open up the mid as well. They came for blood and got so much more.
Yeah, a lot of value, taking all the T1s and some healthy damage on the T2 on the top side as well. So this is going to be, at this case, similar to what the CD key is. Hot blood, go and clean that right now because Boom, they're looking for some form of recovery, but that is not going to be presented because next Tyrant already Kagendra starts on it.
Yep.
Tyrant has been defeated.
Next Tyrant is already gone. That's the beauty of the pay as well, right? Feisha just able to kind of melt down, especially with the help of Zan on the Forge Maiden as well. So these objectives are going to fall so quick here. Base checked by Sule. He's able to be the guy you want to go into those brushes, knowing that every team's in next. He's going to be able to survive. He's going to be able to sustain that.
Yeah, and this is why it's so important that Solly is the one that, really soaks the damage. Number one, he's giving vision, but because they also have great recovery, Lou is very much in charge of this here, giving away the redemption on that roam item with his destined encounter for the heals. This is all making sure that Kagendra is not that easy to take down.
Exactly. Kagendra is definitely fortifying their defenses here with the likes of the support item, as well as obviously using Sole as just the driving force, the battering ram into the side of Boom Esports as they lose the T1 topside, T2 topside, as well as the T2 into the mid lane. This is not looking like a healthy game here for Boom, but like you said, Ken, earlier on, the late game favors Boom.
Yeah, it is. So can they really last this particular segment of the battlefield at this point? Attempted steal from the side of Kagendra Facial is going to be successful, but here comes the problem. Another T2 taken down in the mid, and it looks like they're running out of options. We are hitting that 10-minute mark soon, but Boom has lost quite a bit at this point.
They have. I mean, in terms of the goal, they're about 5k gold behind now, which is something you kind of want to make sure you are cauterizing this wound that is the bleeding of the pockets of Boom. They need to make sure that they're able to try and get a team fight that may go in their favor, or at least try and get one of these neutral objectives, especially the Shadow Overlord, to try and put a bit more pressure into one of the lanes of Boom Esports.
I don't think that's possible, though. If you take a look at the level advantage, Facial is already at level 15. He's 2 levels ahead of Carl. At the same time, the bigger problem, Zan is level 13. He is 1 level ahead of Danny. That's a lot of difference in EXP and gold, and this is going to be a big problem. They can't have an honest 5-5 because 5v5 team fight, Kagendra wins that all day now.
Yeah, especially thanks to the automation as well, as you were saying there. I mean, we're still in prime pay time. Like, it's only past the 10-minute mark in about 38 seconds. And the fact that he's able to get to level 15 prior to that point as well means that he is kind of like scaling above the pace right now. And obviously, high ground turrets in top and into the mid lane are looking to be pushed
nice
and at least do a little bit of damage here. But there's a catch for Sule on the Spark Mace right now. The Destiny counter does come through as well. Just a zone away, Boom, but Kate give over healing to the side of Kagendra.
Okay, nerves are definitely starting to show at this point. Draw did not hit anyone with their ultimate. They have to give away the T3 in the middle, and it looks like there is no fight to be had.
Yep, T3 does go down into the mid lane now, and obviously the top side is not looking too healthy as well. Kagendra really putting a stamp on their name in this one, right? Like, they have taken that defeat from KIC 2025 personally, and they're looking for more here. Can they steal away the Crimson? No. Carl is able to snatch that one for himself. Just a minor victory at this point.
Yes, and even though we talk about the late game is okay if you're equal in farm, but right now Boom is trailing Kagendra by about 6,000. Another attempt by the Annihilation, not gonna hit the mark in either damage or timing. So Kagendra very much in the driver's seat for this one.
Driver's seat in terms of the neutral objectives as well, right? I mean, they've got all 4 neutral objectives up until this point. Boom still yet to lay their hands on a single prize here, but bot side of the map has been put down there with the Shadow Vanguard. That's going to completely wipe out the minions there and just try and put the pressure onto the bot side whilst they maybe try and look for a push here into the mid lane.
This is truly a claw machine experience for Boom, right? They've not caught anything. They spent quite a lot of money, given quite a few lives, 5 kills to the side of Kagendra, but no value taken out from the machine so far.
No value just yet, but it still could come, right? Obviously, it's a slow game. You kind of like trying to readjust your firm grip onto the plushie you're looking for within that claw machine there, but the top T3 does fall, so they do get a prize. But is it the ultimate prize that they want? Which is not. It's going to be that T3 down to the bot side right now, and that crystal is looking bare.
Yep, I don't think they can defend this.
It's going to be a hard defense if they're able to do it here, Boom, but obviously they have no minion waves now, and it's going to have 3 Vanguards come through into the back line. It's going to be Miji just trying to drive them out of this crystal territory, but you got the Vanguard slapping the crystal at this point. All you need is Kagendra to get a few kills, and there it is. Draw goes down, and first game goes to Kagendra.
Yep, super impressive gameplay from Kagendra, very calculated as well. And Fei Shi, he did not overstep his boundaries, right? It didn't feel like he was very prominent across the map, but somehow all the kills were kind of flowing in. And this is a well-calculated execution from the side of Kagendra here.
Yeah, very good draft here for Kagendra. Obviously, I felt like the Boom's draft, it was when they're locked in the Yang Jian, obviously, I'm not the biggest fan of the Yang Jian into the clash lane here. And obviously, knowing that the Dolia wasn't going to be there as well, I felt like if you do put it into the jungle, it's not going to be as fruitful as we have been seeing for the past few days, as well as today with that combo come through. But I feel like maybe Boom was just like, all right, let's get that tough draft out of the way. I mean, they have dropped the likes of the Pei, the Forge Maiden, Chicha, as well as the Storm Mace, as well as the Diadea as well. So quite an expensive draft here nonetheless, but there is some expensive picks on the side of Boom that they can't have anymore as well.
Yeah, I think this one really hurts for Boom. While it is an expensive draft for the side of Kagendra, like you said, I think Boom also have expended quite a bit. Now that there is no more refreshed combination in the form of the Trilight and Dolia because Yang is no longer available for Boom, what other options do they have? At the same time, I think Kagendra has already shown us that now if you give them the lead, they know how to play the game with it, and that's a very different story from the Kagendra of old.
Oh, absolutely. So the Kagendra of old, like they would see a crystal, they'd get excited, they'd go for it, and they would lose in the crystal territory, and then the enemy team would always come back. But whereas this Kagendra, like you were saying, they had such a definitive lead. They didn't hold off. They kept putting on the pressure, and that's the thing that made Boom falter.
Yep. And here's the crazy part. Let me remind you what we were watching. It was a 1,000 goal lead at the start. And they just made sure, because they had that 1,000 goal lead, and where was their lead? It was in the hands of Fei Shi. This guy on the Pei, he was silent, but he was deadly. 4-0-2. You don't need too many kills. Once you have the advantage, just start working around the edges of the map. And that's exactly what Kagendra did.
Exactly. I mean, that beautiful opening up of those 4 kills was probably the most perfect thing that they could have really hoped for here on the side of Kagendra, because at that point, it was pretty stalemate. Like, nobody had a first blood, but rolled through the first blood, then dropped another one, dropped another one, dropped another one, and then that was it. Like, there was so much opportunity potential for Kagendra to open up the map, and they did exactly that.
Yes, and of course, props to this guy Senko as well. On this Shi here, a lot of people did not kind of expect that he would be so effective. Like, we know him as a very strong contender, steady performer in the Kagendra lineup. But today he's been showing off his ability to foretell the future. The Silk imprints have been on point from Senko.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely feeding into the kills, into his team as well, right? Like, really just kind of stopping any real composure of Boom. And that's the beauty of the Silk Weaver, right? Is the fact that you compose the team fight yourself rather than waiting for the crucial first step that's going to be the way in for the enemy team. You just bring them to them, whether it be Carl, whether it be Draw, and just completely take away that front line.
Yeah, in fact, I think it was more important that Senko actually caught Draw quite a few times, right? Because once Draw is out, you don't really have a big tank anymore. Yes, you have the Yangqian, but how long can he set up for you? He doesn't really get the perfect, 5-man stun that you're looking for, that Draw can provide. And that's exactly what Senko was looking out for.
Exactly. He did it very well. He was looking for that prize. He was waiting for the shiny moment, and he secured it multiple times. But looking at the head-to-head right now, obviously, damage taken between these two Clash laners is pretty much far a few in between, around about 5k difference there. Same with the damage dealt.
Yep, of course, different values provided down here. For the side of Saudi on the Byron, right? Once he uses ultimate, the force field suppression, he gets extra shield as well. So he is a constant sponge for the side of Kagendra, which opened up the room for Senko to have the clarity to catch the actual prey that he wants from the side of Boom, and also provide so much space for Fei Shi on that Pei, as well as Zan on that Forge Maiden. The Chicha never really used the ultimates on the team fights. If you notice throughout the gameplay, the ultimates were used to melt down turrets. Such a smart and creative use of the Chicha here.
Oh, absolutely. If you're going to use that as a split push potential, as you can see with that top T3, bot T3 there, just using the ultimate to run that down, to make sure it's just catching Boom off guard, right? Because obviously they probably weren't even suspecting that the Chicho was going to use the ultimate to take down the turrets, right? There's probably waiting for it to come online within the team fights. And it just never happened. Just like, oh, she doesn't need it. She'll just do far too much damage anyway.
Yep, and this is a PKL weakness, I would say, right? Kagendra exposes it once again, which is, okay, let's play the macro game. You want to fight? We will fight when the crystal is available for the taking.
Exactly. Eyes on the prize, Crystal within their grasp to take down, and then obviously just take the team fight from there. But I feel like there is only one MVP worthy in that game number one, and it's definitely very sure here on this pay, showing you how it's done, whipping out the two guns, 402 KDA, dealing 63k of the damage. But ultimately, it was that XP lead, it was that gold lead so early on that was so oppressive onto Boom.
Yep, and because of the threat that he was ahead, knowing that he could easily take any of the members, even Carl at one point in 1v1, this forced Boom to be in a very scary position here. This initial catch on to draw, I thought it was looking good for Boom at that moment, but then the amount of catches and help of sustain coming from Sauli, especially with the pure sky usage and the flash storm strike combination, allowing Facer to stay alive, get the burst damage in as well.
I mean, it was all, you have to give it over to obviously Senko, as we already have gave props over to him, right? Like, you can see these pulls going through. He's just a pure setup here. Yes, he got 1 kill but 4 assists as well into that one, so you can really see here that he's able to kind of slow the pace up, the draw on the Lapu Lapu, and then also stop the kind of potential from Carl on this Featherfoot.
Yep, and look at Sauli, right? I like this play by Sauli. This shows you how much improvement Sauli has done. He was constantly soaking in the turret damage from the crystal. He was also making sure that the skills being used, he was the one in front of them. So he was a sponge for Kagendra, and this made life so much easier for Kagendra. Once you give Senko, who is already pretty accurate on these aiming heroes, the Silk Imprint lands, draws out, you have no more tank, crystals open. It's a job well done.
Very well done there for Kagendra, taking game number one. Obviously, they did have a bit of a shaky start to the Season 4 Invitational, obviously losing 3-1 to DMT. Even though they were looking like they were going to be the favourites in that series, I even predicted Kagendra to take that series of 3-2, but they obviously fell at a 3-1 loss there to Dominate 3 Spot. So they really got something to prove here going into the knockout stage. They know what's on the line as well, so they know if they don't win this one, then they are going to be that 3rd and 4th seed that may be either Nova or Bigatron by Vitality's first opponent in that knockout stage.
Yeah, you know what? Kagendra has been my kryptonite in KIS4. Every result that I predict of Kagendra has been wrong. And for now, it seems like that trend stays true. I have gotten 2 out of 3 predictions correct every day up at this point. And the only one that has made me lose is Kagendra.
Clearly, it's because it starts with a K, and so does Kindo Fu, right? Like, it's a bit of a clash there, a bit of alliteration that isn't quite aligning with the chakras of these two beings, being Kagendra and Kindo Fu. But we've always kind of understated Kagendra, right? Especially 2024, 2025, they had the track record, other than like the IKL Championship in the fall, the spring. They were kind of like, you were thinking, right, okay, so maybe international, they were able to kind of like maybe peak our interest, but always on the international stage, they always faltered. But now, 2026, new year, new me, new Kagendra, new Al Manuk as well, you know?
Yeah. I mean, we've heard of the songs about it. I don't know where you can find it, but we've heard it. So right now, Kagendra looking to really turn the tides. That was an impressive game 1. I like what I see. But then, this is Boom Esports we're talking about. You don't count them out after one game.
No, exactly. I mean, being the star value ranking top 2nd player going into this one, we've had very interesting sights on Boom as well. I mean, they have definitely been a team that really caught us by surprise in KIC 2025, as well as their countrymen team, Blacklist International as well. So I feel like if they want to kind of continue this this high ride and this high momentum at the moment, Boom needs to try and win at least a round here of Kagendra, especially in game number 2. Because if it goes to 2-0, Kagendra's going to be riding that high.
Oh yeah, for sure. Momentum swing is going to be great. And I feel like this Kagendra new, I don't think they give away things for free anymore, right? Because Kagendra, they got that lead early on in the first part of game number 1. And it never really seemed to run away from that point. So Boom Esports, they need to start figuring things out here. And they will try with the first few bands going on to the Lapu Lapu as well as the Long.
Yeah, typically as they've taken the Forge Maiden off of the Gorge already and used it once for Kagendra, they're looking to keep banning that one out as well, as we've seen from previous match behaviors also. So the Oyin as well as the Lapu Lapu, the Reefheart Datu being banned out here, as well as the Spark Mace Byron. They want to make sure that they don't get the Pay Byron combo going for themselves on the side of Boom Esports.
Interesting. I actually feel like Boom Esports might try to go for the channel in this game. But here's the thing. I think even if Boom Esports goes for the channel, I think Kagendra are ready for it. So they'll start off higher here though.
The very first moon.
The higher coming through, obviously didn't quite give the victory for the side of THQ the other game. Man handling that one, but this time around Kagendra, they do what I was expecting Boom to do last game. And pick up the Dolia here, but also fleshing it out with the Martial Monk Dharma for Sule.
I like this a lot because Boom can't pick the Yangjin again. No more Twilight for you. Bam, pick Global Bam pick. This is the beauty of it. So now Kagendra knows that there is a guarantee they will get the Yangjin here. Now it's about finding out, okay, what does Boom Esports want to put here? And Boom Esports, the answer is, we're going to do the same thing to you. We're going to dominate the early game.
Looks like Miggy is going to go for the War Saint here, the Guan Yu, as well as Tigerus, the Pay for Carl. I mean, let's see. I mean, how he did on the Fade, the Featherfoot, I didn't think it was that impressive here for Carl, but I feel like I have to give it over to Senko. That was really kind of like completely taking his mojo out of him there, with obviously a lot of the crowd control, a lot of the pulls. So let's see if he's able to run wild with this untamed Tigerus. But now, obviously, like you were saying moments ago, Kagendra get the Trilite and the Dolia combo.
Okay, this is a position where Kagendra game plan is very clear, right? You get the Trilite for the Yangjin, so Facia is definitely going to be diving like crazy with the help of Lu on this C Singer Dolia. Get the refresh in, try to get everyone on the side of Boom Esports near a wall. And that's where, you know, Saulage is going to come in with the punches flying. But Boom Esports, where is this counter initiative?
They're going to find it somewhere, right? Obviously, they are looking for, okay, potential Void Caller here for draw. The Void come through. Oh, okay. Kin.
Okay.
Any boots here with this one? He gets locked in.
Yeah, you see the brow raise by Draw, you know he's confident on his hero. And Draw, I think this is not the first time he has brought it out. We have seen the Queen in play. It was pretty successful, I believe. And I remember asking this question, which was, how accurate is your Void Caller hooks? So far, Draw has been pretty impressive. He has got him them hooks.
He's got them hooks, but he didn't get the victory kit here. I'm looking, it's when they played against DMT last game, they lost, but hey, maybe the performance was good, but just wasn't good enough for the victory here. But fleshing out the comp here for Kagendra, Senko taking a little bit more of a carry approach with the Fire Ninja, Mai Shiranui coming through.
Okay, this is a very interesting laning phase because Mai is notoriously known not to have good wave clear. So this initial level 1 wave, definitely in Tatsumi's favor. Now it's about, okay, what does Boom do with that initial lead in the mid lane, right? And once again, we've already seen how the teams are playing today. They are going for probably that 3-man mid approach. What are they going to do and try to even out the odds?
Yeah, I can imagine obviously a lot of that gold, maybe even the first wave into the mid lane will probably be ate over by Carl as well, right? Obviously, especially on such a pick like Pei, you want to kind of get, just like Facia did in that first game, is you want to get that lead as solidified for yourself as quick as possible. Yeah,
so that is one way. The other way is kind of slow down the farm, right? Which I think maybe Draw might be considering at this point. This is one of the reasons to pick up the Kui as well. To go for that level 1 hook. You don't have to get the buff, you just need to reset the buff so that Kagendra can't do much with it. So I think this is going to be dependent on what Draw does in the early parts of the game.
We'll have to wait and see if he's able to get those crucial hooks to begin with, right? I mean, yes, obviously the Magistrate on Zahn here, he does have the legal immunity. If you do time it correctly, you can cancel that hook. So can, under pressure, Zahn actually use that legal immunity to escape the Void Caller?
That's true. I mean, is he even the target at this point, right? Because at this point, I think you want to just spoil the game for Fei Shi. I don't really think you need to care about Zahn in this early part of the game. It's more of a, can we squeeze out an advantage also?
We'll have to wait and see, right? For Boom, obviously they are already down a point at this moment in time within this best of 5 against Kagendra. So let's see how this game number 2 unfolds here for Boom. Obviously going for the Koi, a little bit more of an unconventional support pick that we've been seeing so far. Obviously mainly been a big focus around about those support tank picks. Yes, obviously Koi can be quite tanky, but not quite to the same level as obviously the Lapu Lapu or the Lianfogo or the Zhongfei.
Okay, so that is showing Draw did not hit that first hook. Miki at the same time failing against Saule here. So it's looking once again like a Kagendra start. Even though Kagendra is trained by about 100 gold. Attempted hook, not gonna hit again.
I think we should have a little tally on see how many hooks actually do land here. But currently it's at a minus 100% here on these hooks hitting for now for Draw. So we need to start seeing some of those positive numbers come through.
Yeah, he needs a little bit more seasoning, a little bit more setup. And for now, Carl is going to try and provide that value on the other side of the map, right? You may not be able to get the hooks, that's fine. You will try to get a direct approach through better rotations.
Hopefully for a better rotation, Boom trying to get some kind of advantage here. I mean, they do have the gold lead for now, but with a hero like the Pei into the jungle, you should expect nothing less here. But Sole with the true Madra into the jungle, you should expect nothing less here. But Sole with the true Madra, and then that's it. The Ryuji, the true Madra, and then that's it. The true Madra, and then that. The Ryuji, the true Madra, then that's it. The Ryuji, the true Madra, and then that's it. The Ryuji, the true Madra, the true Madra, and then that's it. The Ryuji, the Madra, and then that's it. The Ryuji, the true Madra, and then that's it. The Ryuji. I feel like he was baiting that hook, don't you feel like that was a little bit too kind of like suspicious just to be out in the open. He knew Draw was looking for him.
You know why? Because that actually took Draw out of the experience. So Draw did not hit level 4. And now this, even though Draw has hit level 4 at this point, he needs to recalibrate and get a brand new hook. Not as easy as it sounds.
No, not quite as easy as it sounds. Obviously, we are seeing a bit of a duel into the Shadow Realm right now between the two mid laners. It's actually looking like it's going to go in favor of Tatsuri. He does get the pickup there as well, so quick answer for the side of Boom Esports. They are now back in the race in terms of the kills, but Kagendra have taken the lead. Kagendra have taken the lead ever so slightly with the gold.
Right, so, now, let's see, what else can they do? Draw, I mean, even if he gets a hook here, when Fei Shi goes into the Heaven and Earth mode, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter at all, exactly. It's going to be pretty much all she wrote there. But right now, obviously, we are seeing a bit of a push down to the bottom side of the map. We haven't quite yet got to that 4-minute mark. We're just creating that little bit of premature pressure for the side of Boom Esports. Means that they can potentially go for that Tyrant, but Carl looking like he's a bit of a worse for wear right now. Seems to get the shield away for that second skill.
Not ideal at this point. So Kagendra, once again, they have a decent positioning. They're not really up there in terms of gold just yet, but they have prior positioning over this Tyrant, of which they're just gonna give it up straight away. Interesting.
So they are going to give it up, right? Obviously, we do see that Fei Shi is just on the opposite side of the map. He's like, you know what? I'm going to make sure I get all my tasks first, all my camps come through, and then maybe we'll look to go towards either the Overlord or just look for a team fight. Because the Overlord, especially the the latter version, or well, the earlier version, sorry, it hasn't been really much prio here from any of these teams today at all.
Yeah, because even if it's a slight advantage, right? The slight advantage is that it naturally wins against the wave of minions, but you don't really get too many hits on the turrets, if any, and you're putting yourself at risk here. And you're putting yourself at risk here because and you're putting yourself at risk here. And you're putting yourself at risk here because 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 and you're putting and you're putting here because you like the fact that this situation happens. Because let me bring you back to that moment you were talking about. Lou, right? Was he baiting? I think he was, and that was definitely a bait from Saudi as well. Right now in this middle lane matchup, it's not looking good. Tatsuri gets the catch but gets taken out, and feels like this game number 2 is once again going to start spiraling out of control for.
Yeah, don't want that to happen as well there, but there's going to be the Crimson Golem actually just going to the side of Boom, but it's going to be the takedown of Draw. So Draw does fall, but it means that Carl's able to maintain that Crimson Golem. So I feel like there's ways we could look at that actually goes in favor of Boom here, but overall, obviously the gold lead being in favor of Kagendra, you can make an argument that not quite as well of a trade here.
If nothing else had happened, maybe that was the case, but now they lose a T1 in the mid. They lose the Azure buff to face over that smite battle with Carl as well. In fact, Carl didn't even have the chance to use a smite there, which means Kagendra, they're winning on all cylinders again. Once again, the lead is not that big, but you know what's going to happen in a couple of minutes. Nice hook.
Oh, Flash with the ulti being expanded there by Draw. That's not quite what you wanted, especially when nothing was gained from it as well. And I mean, whilst all that's happening, you can see that Zaan's top side of the map here as well, looking to go for a bit more of a macro play, looking to try and open up these side lanes, whilst the rest of Boom are just kind of trying to find some kind of give it that status that comes through here, saving Senku. So not even a kill onto the side of Boom. That's going to be a double kill going up to the side of Kagendra Zaan. And just has to take the T1 top side of the map as well. Like you said, kid, this Kagendra, I mean, this is a different team.
Yo, what did they have for dinner? I mean, look, they used every single available ability on the side of Boom, knowing that they can change their tides. But Kagendra always had one other move to just one-up them at any point.
They did, and speaking of one-upping, they get the T2-1 down. Speaking of one-upping, they get the T into the mid lane. Have definitely sullied that place to the mid lane there as well. So once again, Kagendra have definitely sullied that place as the supreme team in game number 2. Supreme team in game number 2.
Make sure you're ahead of the Yangchen, because Yangchen doesn't farm as fast. But Kagendra, the way they play this has been phenomenal. This game number 2, they're showing you exactly how to play against a pain.
Exactly, how to dismantle the Tigress itself here. Obviously, trade for the T1 to T2 down to the bot side of the map here as well. I feel like this is just kind of like a little bit of a minor victory here for Boom as they just try and reclaim some kind of gain, some kind of ground here against Kagendra.
Yeah, it feels like he has no answers. Kagendra has more questions at this point.
Oh, they stole away the insurance. Wow. Twilight goes in, Facia just trying to put the pressure on with the ultimate there. We did see Draw was able to actually get the hook though, but Lou survives to live another day.
He knows that he's fine, right? Because at this point, as you just saw, he has both his first and second skill. Even if you get the hook and the ultimate from Draw, all you have to do is to stun him after the initial, iframe, and you interrupt his ultimate entirely.
Exactly. His ultimate gets completely scuffed here onto the side of Boom. I mean, to be honest, it's a really hard one to really pull off. You gotta really try and like counter, or at least rely on another kind of crowd control, right? Maybe look at trying to get Midget to try and like feed the rest of the side of Kagendra into you, and then you pop open your ultimate there for a draw on the coin. But none of that's really happened here, and it's a lot of moving parts, hence why it's failing here. But Carl looking for a bit of a saving grace to try and steal away their Azure Golden.
I think this is a completely different Kagendra. Coach Reflect, I think he's done his homework to an absolute T here. They know. I think this is a completely different Kagendra. Coach Reflect, I think he's done his homework to an absolute T here. They know that, hey, this is the available option for the side. We can let them have the Azure Golem, that's fine. But you know, as a team, when we start to really team fight, we're 3,000 gold ahead. Here comes a wraparound. How?
Wraparound coming around here as well. Obviously,
Oh,
fast
no.
increase here from the Howling Winds. Now, Carl gets taken down. It's actually going to be the Azure Golem going over to Sule for what is left and what that matters. But the Vanguard, top side of the map here as well, looking to get that finishing touch onto the T2.
And excuse me, I thought, you know, Facial was pretty tanky. He probably has like a lot of builds on it. He just completed his Dragon Rage. This is not even his final tanky form. And look at the rewards now. Kagendra have a tier 3 taken at the 11 and 20-second mark. This is gonna hurt for Boom.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be a big hurt for Boom here as they try to defend the top. It's going to be Senko trying to get the push here onto the top side of the map with a Shadow Vanguard. But you've got two lanes being pushed in right now, King. Boom has to survive some kind of defense.
We can do it. This is a 3T3 at the top. There is still more to be had.
Still more to be had, but the pulling of the Vanguard was a really good call here by Draw, but it does mean that that team with 1 and 3 into the mid lane does get opened up, unfortunately. Not quite the result they wanted. They just wanted to wipe out the Vanguards, but now all they have is that crystal laid bare here for Kagendra. Kagendra looking to do this sub under 15 minutes.
Yep, this is a very scary potential. All they need is a jump hit from Solid to slam them against the wall, and the Hellhound as well from the side of Facial. Let's see.
Ooh, there he goes. He dashes out of the ultimate, flashes out of the ultimate this time as well, but a very nice cancellation there onto Draw, really mitigating the impact coming through here for Boom Esports, and Midget going down. It means they're able to keep the base alive, but they're down a member.
They've shown you that the masterclass at this point, Kagendra, every single option that Boom are exploring, completely shut down. They can't get Miggy, the hooks are on Draw. Oh.
Uh-oh. There he goes. A lot coming through here. Solly's having to die here, but he's going to die for the victory. And Kagendra gets game number 2.
That's really quick. I did not expect this. Look, I don't mind being wrong. And this, for me, this is a brand new Kagendra IKL. Oh, we have a new system in hand here.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, like you said, we always underestimate or at least get proven wrong by Kagendra, whether it's just predicting them to win or predicting them to lose. They always predict us wrong here, but like you said, in the game as well. Coach Reflect doing his homework. The new synergy of this team is definitely what Kagendra were looking for since the inception in 2024.